Hello, how are you? Today, let's go to be spicy. Uh, to be pretty straightforward with this topic is why do I think that you should not support any Pokemon games, specifically the digital ones. Like for example, the one that is gonna release this year. I think when this video come to air should be releasing like next week. So why you shouldn't buy Pokemon Legends ZA? And a little bit about my backstory with Pokemon. I think that is important for you to know. I'm not that old, so I don't. I didn't play Pokemon Red and Blue. I started my Pokemon story with Pokemon Silver and Gold. Love those games. Ever since I tried to play almost one generation of Pokemon games. So I start playing with Pokemon Silver with my Game Boy Color. After that, I went to Pokemon Stadium 2. I didn't play Crystal. I played Pokemon Ruby because Kyogre is better. Sorry. I didn't play any of these. I didn't play. I play Pokemon Fire Red because Charmander is the best started. I didn't play any of these. I play Pokemon Pearl, and my brother got a Pokemon a Diamond because I think Palkia is cooler. I I play I play Pokemon Ranger that is basically capturing the Pokemon with the stick. Yeah, I didn't play this one. I play Pokemon Platinum. I play Pokemon Rumble. Didn't play the Heart and Gold. Didn't play the White and Black. Didn't play these ones, but I play Pokemon Rumble Blast. I didn't play Pokemon Black, so I didn't play the Black 2. But I played the Pokemon X and Y. I choose Y because Zifferon? No, Zifferon is this one. Is Don't remember the name of this guy, but I think this guy is cooler. It's a Y. That's why. I continue my story. Oh, this is the problem. I play Pokemon Omega Ruby again because Kyogre is better. I think that's my favorite Pokemon game ever because of the story and the Mega Evolutions. And that's fine. I tried to play Pokemon Go. It's not for me. Play Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Torment, uh, DX. I didn't play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That is the other topic that I'm gonna talk about. I play Pokemon in Smash Bros. Too, but that doesn't matter. And I started to play Pokemon Sword. Couldn't finish. I'm getting there. Didn't play Pokemon Unite and didn't play any of these ones. I play a little bit of Pokemon Pocket because I wanted to try it. And why do I believe that you shouldn't support Pokemon? In this story, that this crazy fast timeline recap of the Pokemon games that I played it before, as you can see, I start playing Pokemon in 2000. Maybe it was like I started to play like 2001 or 2002 or something like that, but it was like through this era until here. I play until here. So I play 2007 to 2019. I play roughly 12 years of Pokemon. What Pokemon changed in 12 years? Not much. This is the problem. Pokemon is one of the biggest and names out there and franchises out there with money. You don't understand why I'm saying that. Pokemon has money, man. Pokemon is one of the biggest franchises. And if I'm not mistaken, the biggest franchise of the world. Pokemon is recognizable throughout the whole world. Everybody knows what is a Pikachu. And they don't give a crap about those games. Again, I understand the first idea of Pokemon basically having like two versions that is trying to make you buy the same game twice. They started a stupid trend for games. Pokemon is starting this stupid thing saying, "Oh, you need to buy the other version because in the other version you have a very specific thing that you cannot buy on the first one." And to that I said, "Fuck you. Why do you make me buy the same game twice because you want to sell one exclusive Pokemon?" I hate that from the start. But sure, that is what they're going to do. Fine, I guess. I don't have a choice. The creativity behind Pokemon is amazing. The idea for the first generations, like the Torchic, Mudkip, and Treecko, Chikorita, even Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Eevee, and all of those are crazy recognizable, and everybody loves the artwork behind it. But the problem is they know that, so that's why they keep selling you garbage. In these ones, Pokemon until here. Oh, let's. I need to breathe because Pokemon was 2D until here, 2014 or 2000. Uh, okay, 2013. Then they say, "Oh, now we are 3D. Now we have look our graphics." And okay, fine, that is an advance, I guess. It took you 10 years of the biggest franchise of the whole world. Sure, you're doing in a handheld. That must suck. I agree. This game looks awesome, but it's a fighting game. You have like 20 characters at total or something like that. Okay, you have Pokemon Sun and Moon that was like the peak for the 3D world and how much the 3DS can bear. And you release the fucking Let's Go. That is basically a retake for Pokemon Fire, Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow. Basically, a revamp of Pokemon Yellow since this is Pikachu. Fine, you're catering to nostalgia, and you release Pokemon Sword and Shield. They had a terrible frame rate. And in this Pokemon, they say, "Oh, we cannot put old Pokemons because look our graphics. Looks like shit." They release more nostalgia bait. This one invented itself because in Pokemon you always have a main franchise and you have a smaller franchise in between. So basically in 2017 you have a great one, like a new generation. 2018, no, 2019, new generation. 2020, you didn't have any Pokemon. I don't know why they stopped doing that, but it was basically that 1 year, 1 year, a good one, and what the other one was basically not main focus Pokemon. So you have 2021, you have uh, the remake of Diamond and Pearl, and then you have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That is basically garbage because they release it on Nintendo Switch. They cannot run on Nintendo Switch. They re-released the game in Nintendo Switch 2, running okay. I don't know how they think they're gonna run a Pokemon Legends ZA on Nintendo Switch. If you cannot even run the fucking Scarlet and Violet, but sure, if you're doing that, fine. And you're asking, okay, Kyle, you're just thinking reasonably good thing about it. Why do you hate so much Pokemon? I couldn't even as you can see, I play and I know a little, and I like to say that I know a little bit about Pokemon, but it's not like my bread and butter. The whole idea of using, I love the idea of Mega Evolutions. They abandoned completely. I get really upset. I'm not going to channel my hate through Gigantamax and crystallization because my hate started with Pokemon ZA. They are having this Nintendo Switch 2 should be a big jump in quality. But as you can see the trailer is they have the Mega Evolutions that I think that I love, but it's not a good game. Game Freak is basically staying on the same. My prob and you say, "Oh, they are doing what it can." No, this is supposed to be the brand new game. And most people are saying, "Oh, this is a compressed image. I'm going in full HD and still looks bad." It's not looks bad because it doesn't look crispy. It looks bad because you don't have anything there. You don't have any details. In a fucking game that is gonna be released in this year, 2025, you don't have any details on the Pokemons. You don't. The fleur is just it's just like a blob. And you're saying, oh, this is the artistic view for the Pokemons and for the characters. Okay, so look at the grass, look at the water, look at the trees, look at the light, look at the windows. You don't have anything. You don't have any details. And you're saying you're playing Pokemon for the world? Yes, I'm playing Pokemon for everything. I'm not just playing a game. They wanted to charge us 110 Canadian dollars, 80 US dollars for this game. They they wanted to charge a triple A price for a game that they shouldn't because it's Pokemon. And when this game releases, it's gonna break all the sales charts because everybody is buying the Switch 2 to play Pokemon. Every Switch 2 is one of the biggest selling consoles of all time. And I completely hate it because I already recorded a video saying why you shouldn't buy Nintendo games anymore, or not, at least a Nintendo Switch 2 until they change the idea of the game that you're buying is not on your cartridge, and I can ban you whatever I like because I don't like you anymore. The company shouldn't have that power. Story of Pokemon, fine. I'm not gonna say about it because it's for a children's game, but look at the images, look at of the map and all of those little details that you should have a good understanding of, and you do not because they're basically doing the same thing over and over again. They're reducing the size of the game basically to make be able to run on Nintendo Switch 2. I know they make a deal with the devil, more known as Nintendo, about it not releasing on anywhere. But come on, why do you are suing Power? That is my biggest issue. If you wanted to do your garbage money grabbing game as you've been doing for the least decade, for the least 15 years, sure, you're changing the fighting style. I like that fighting style of your Pokemon running around. The is a nice change of pace. Nice because the way that you did Scarlet and Violet looks like shit. You're doing aesthetic animation. You have so much money and you cannot have unique attacks for your Pokemon. Your Pokemon itself doesn't do the move. For example, Scratch. They don't do like this. They basically go move forward and backwards and wiggle a little bit and do the scratch. Game Freak, you have basically infinite money right now. Every single thing that you put out is a record number sales. Is a Nintendo game. It's never going down in price as well. Because if I could buy this game, first of all, I'm not gonna buy it for two reasons. I don't want to support. Game Freak and their terrible decisions. And first topic, point two, terrible decisions in game design for how they're making their game and for the lawsuits they're running against competitors because they are imitating Pokemon. But again, I'm sure this game is is gonna be fun. I'm not gonna say that it's look fine, but it's gonna look, yeah. The idea of fighting like a battle, a more action based Pokemon is very interesting. The problem is Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not gonna buy that. Never. And by doing that, you cannot run this game on Nintendo Switch. I completely doubt it. It's impossible for you to play this game on Nintendo Switch. If they couldn't run the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and they didn't fix Scarlet and Violet on Nintendo Switch. So even though they released this game working on the Nintendo Switch 1, they didn't even fix the game they released it before. So they are basically money hungry for it. And I pick up like this site so you can see how much money they have because they have a card game. They have the Pokemon Go that give them tons and tons of money. They have the main games. They have the anime. They have the Pokemon Unite. But Pokemon Go, yes. The Pokemon Pocket. That is a very very garbage game that I don't know why they are making such a success. I played it. It's not good. It's a very very simple game because I don't understand why you're making your Pokemon game is already like pretty easy to play. Why you're releasing a version that you don't need to think about it? Fine. My biggest issue is why the Pokemon Company are suing Power World. This game is nothing like Pokemon. They are basically suing a game to be a better looking Pokemon and are dividing the fans, are getting a cut. Guess what? If you don't make a good game and some indie development developers or even big developers are making a Pokemon like game that is way better than you releasing, why you're upset because you're not profiting off the margin they are gonna make. Why should I play Pokemon if I could play Power that is thousand times better, or the new Hoyoverse game they're gonna release that is like Pokemon as well? Why should I play a crappy Pokemon game instead of those ones? Why are suing them for a random reason to grab money and impasse the creative vision of them? Pokemon, you didn't invent anything. You didn't invent the idea of capturing monsters. Yourself saying, I think you already state that Pokemon was created using Shin Megami Tensei as a reference of capturing monsters. And you're gonna say, "Oh, but I capture monsters in balls." Man, you're just jealous. You're just jealous because other people are doing what you're trying to do better. And that's why I don't believe you should ever support those type of companies. So Game Freak started Game Freak enter on my ban list of the companies that are never gonna buy anything again. Never gonna buy any Nintendo. Since I'm not gonna buy Nintendo Switch 2 and not enough and related to Nintendo, I would never buy Game Freak again. But now I'm just telling my friends and telling everyone that I know and that I know that it's like Pokemon. Please don't do that. You're just supporting a bad company with bad habits. And again, This is only my opinion, is what I can offer for you guys. Tell me what you think about Pokemon, and are you gonna buy Pokemon Legends ZA or the new Pokemon that is gonna release next year? Let me know. Let me tell me, why do you think I'm wrong, and why should you keep supporting this terrible company with their really bad decisions? And see you on the next one. Bye bye.